During last week's show, I brought you a feature on the history of Hurricane Agnes and the flood of '72 here at the Tioga-Hamon Lakes. The year was 1972, 42 years ago. The Dallas Cowboys defeated the Miami Dolphins in Super Bowl VI. 5 men were apprehended at the Watergate Hotel in connection with the Watergate scandal. MASH premiered on CBS. President Harry Truman died, and over the Yucatan Peninsula on June 14th, a tropical depression was forming. That tropical depression would ultimately become Hurricane Agnes, the first hurricane of the 1972 Atlantic hurricane season, and one of the largest June hurricanes on record. Ron Mosier, the assistant dam operator at Kauneski Lake, and Walt Beach, the sewage and water plant operator, reminisce about what it was like before Hurricane Agnes and the flood of 1972.
Right after that was the Valley View and a Peter Pan.
Lovejoy's Garage in the corner.
Right, Lovejoy's Garage.
Flats here were cabbage fields and chicken farms.
Today we're going to dive a little deeper into the Tioga-Hamon Lakes project itself. Take a look. Robert Schnell, Operations Project Manager for the Tioga-Hamon and Kauneski Lakes project, explains how the lakes became to be.
Within 1946, the Army Corps of Engineers was tasked with studying ways to reduce flooding within the Susquehanna River Basin. And in 1958, Congress authorized the Flood Control Act that enabled the Corps of Engineers to construct the Tioga-Hamon and Kauneski Lakes project. This area was chosen based on the topography, hydrology, and geology of the area, along with being able to have 2 reservoirs connected together. So as you can see, we're looking at the Hammond Reservoir, where the Crooked Creek flows into the reservoir, providing a natural water source. We have the connecting channel, directly behind me that connects the Tioga Reservoir with the Hammond Reservoir, and then we got the Tioga Reservoir here on our left, where the Tioga River flows into the lake, and you can see that the natural rock formations provided a excellent, firm foundation for the project to be constructed on. So construction started in September of 1971, and then the following year, June of 1972, is when Hurricane Agnes hit, reaffirming the need for the Tioga-Hamon project. And then in November of 1978, construction was completed, and then the project was operationally complete for water control purposes within November of 1978. And then in March of 1980 is when we started filling the reservoirs, and in the following year of April of 1981 is when we reached conservation pool. Tioga-Hamon is at 1081, and Hammond Reservoir on our right is at elevation 1086. And the height of the emergency spillway is 1131. We could hold 5 times more the amount of water that's within Hammond Reservoir before it would overflow into the emergency spillway.
So this is roughly what it would look like with an additional 5 times the amount of water currently in Hammond Lake.
To date, since the project was constructed, our pool of record occurred within April of 1993, where we reached 7.79 feet of water before it actually flowed over the emergency spillway.
This was an effect of a large amount of precipitation falling during March and April of 1993. According to data from Weather Underground, during April of 1993, just over 8.5 inches of precipitation fell throughout the month in the area of the Tioga-Hamon Lakes. That was in addition to the almost 8 inches of precipitation that fell during March of 1993. A majority of that was due to the March blizzard of 1993. Tammy Cleveland, park ranger at the Tioga-Hamon and Kauneski Lakes, explains that there are numerous recreational opportunities available at the lakes.
The recreation opportunities at Tioga-Hamon and Kauneski Lakes are twofold: land-based and water-based recreation, 4-season recreation. When camping season is over, we go into hunting season, and then fishing until we get under ice, and then ice fishing. Hiking is a 4-season activity here. We have beautiful hiking trails. And then of course when spring rolls around, fishing really ramps up here, and we're back into the recreational boating, jet skiing, swimming, those kind of water-based activities. Between the 2 projects, 7 boat ramps, 3 swimming beaches, 186 campsites at this campground, another 116 at the Kauneski Lake. There is hunting access from both projects. There are viable fisheries in all 3 lakes. Beyond the recreational benefits to the area, which our projects are easily within an hour drive of anywhere across the northern tier, there are the economic benefits to the local communities. People buy gas for their boats and vehicles. They eat in the local restaurants. They buy groceries in the store, and they buy fishing supplies, camping supplies, and in addition, then they'll also visit other local tourist attractions beyond our very local economy across the county.
I guess today we've ended up with a pretty nice recreational lake, camping and fishing.
That's almost all the time we have for today's show. I hope you enjoyed learning about the history and impacts of Hurricane Agnes, the flood of '72, and all the recreational opportunities available here at the Tioga Hammonds Lakes. For Whether or Not, I'm Ryan Bells.